Welcome to the world of science fiction Neon's Alien. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap the notification bell so you never miss a new story from Neon's Alien universe. The room was cold. Too cold. Mara Quinn's bare feet touched the metal floor, and her skin shivered with every breath. Thick chains locked her arms behind her back. Her head hung low, hair soaked in sweat and blood. She didn't know how long she had been there. Hours? Days? There was no window, no clock, only the dim red lights blinking in the ceiling above her, and the soft, steady hum of alien machines. She was alone. Or so she thought. The door hissed open. Mara flinched, lifting, her head weakly. 3 tall aliens entered, their skin a pale shade of blue-gray. They wore black armor and thin visors over their glowing yellow eyes. These were Threxians, members of a brutal empire known for experiments on other species. One of them spoke, voice cold and flat. Begin Phase 4. A machine on the wall came to life. Wires moved like snakes. One of them stabbed into Mara's side. She screamed. It wasn't just pain. It was like fire burning under her skin, crawling through her blood. Another wire struck her shoulder. More screams. Her voice echoed through the metal chamber. She is resisting longer than expected, one alien said. She is still human, the other replied. They break eventually. Mara gasped for air, her body trembling. Why are you doing this? The lead Threxian walked up to her, staring into her swollen eyes. You are part of a test. You were chosen because your body shows signs of something different, something old. Mara didn't understand. I'm just a student. I worked at a space farm on Mars. I'm nobody. You are more than you know, the alien replied. Or you were. Then came the worst wave. A jolt from her spine to her brain made her vision go white. She convulsed. Her heart slowed. Then stopped. Her body went limp in the chair. A long silence filled the room. One Threxian scanned her chest. Heart failure. No signs of brain activity. She's dead. The others nodded. 37 minutes. Recorded. They turned off the machines. The wires unplugged and pulled back. Mara's body dropped to the floor like a broken puppet. She is no longer useful, said one. Burn the remains. 2 guards came with a stretcher. They lifted her cold body and placed it on a steel tray. No one noticed the faint glow on her fingers. No one saw the red light in her veins. They rolled her body down a dark hallway toward the disposal unit. Other dead test subjects had passed this way. None returned. But Mara Quinn was not like the others. Inside her, something ancient had awakened. As the tray moved under a scanner, her hand twitched. The guard paused. Did you see that? Just a muscle reflex, ignore it. He pushed the tray inside the cremation chamber. Flames lit. The door sealed. But then, the fire began to fade. Not die out. Fade like something was pulling the heat away. Inside the chamber, Mara's body sat up. Her eyes opened. They were glowing white. Alarms began to scream across the station. The system could not explain what it was seeing. A dead human was now alive. The chamber's sensors broke one by one. The door burst open. Guards ran to the scene, but Mara was already gone. She stood in the hallway, her skin cracked with light, like fire trapped inside a human shape. Her face was calm, too calm. The nearest guard pointed a weapon. Don't move. She did not flinch. He fired. The plasma bolt hit her chest and passed through her as if she was smoke. Then her body turned solid again. Mara looked at the hole. In her shirt, no wound, no blood. She looked up at the guard. You hurt me once. She stepped forward. He dropped his weapon and ran. The other guards froze, too afraid to move. Mara Quinn had died. Now she was something else. Something they couldn't understand. Something they should never have touched. The emergency lights flickered as sirens wailed across the Threxian research station. Security units rushed through the corridors with rifles in hand. Orders barked through radios. Contain the girl. She is not human anymore. But it was too late. In the incineration chamber, the fire had died without burning a single piece of Mara Quinn. She stood barefoot on the scorched metal floor, her eyes glowing like twin stars. Around her, the flames bent away, afraid, as if the fire itself now obeyed her. Outside the chamber, 2 guards stared at the screen, frozen. This is not possible, one stammered. She was dead. I scanned her heart. No pulse. She came back. The other whispered, voice trembling. No human ever came back. They reached for the emergency kill switch, but the control panel melted before their hands touched it. Inside the chamber, Mara turned slowly. She no longer looked scared. She looked calm, too calm, the kind of calm that only comes after death. Mara stepped out of the chamber. As her foot touched the hallway floor, it left a glowing print that faded slowly behind her. She didn't run. She didn't scream. She simply walked. Down the corridor, toward the room where it all began. Back to the ones who tortured her. The lead Threxian scientist, Dr. Veskar, watched the security feed in disbelief. She's walking, he whispered. Another alien technician nodded. The heat signatures are wrong. Her body is reading star core temperature, but she isn't burning. Veskar stepped back, shaken. Then we didn't kill her. We woke her up. He turned to a nearby soldier. Activate the lockdown. Do not let her reach the central lab. But it was already too late. Mara stood at the main lab entrance. The reinforced blast doors made of hardened plasma alloy began to vibrate as she lifted her hand. She didn't touch them. She remembered them. Their shape, their weight, their pain, and the metal began to melt from the inside. The guards inside panicked. Weapons up. The moment the door collapsed inward, they opened fire. Dozens of shots. High-speed plasma, armor-piercing rounds, energy blasts. Mara walked through it all. Each bullet passed through her like wind through mist. Then she stopped, in front of the lead soldier. Her voice was soft but unshakable. Do you remember me? He trembled. Please, don't. She tilted her head. You laughed when I screamed. With one step forward, she touched his helmet. It turned to ash in seconds. The man collapsed, not dead, but unconscious, his skin untouched, but his mind shattered. Mara turned to the rest. I'm not here to kill you. She looked at the machines behind them. I'm here to end this place. Behind the glass walls, strange experiments floated in tanks, human, alien, and worse. Some still moved. Some whispered. Some prayed. Mara walked to the center console. Her hand hovered over it. Alarms began to scream louder. A countdown appeared on every screen. Self-destruct initiated. 10 minutes. The Threxians across the station began to flee. But Mara remained still. She looked up, her eyes glowing again, but this time not just with light but memory. Visions flashed in her mind. A broken planet, a tower made of bone, a figure, like her, standing before an army of stars. A voice whispered from deep inside. This is not the first time you've died, Mara Quinn. She fell to her knees. She remembered nothing before Mars. But now something was opening, like a door inside her soul. She wasn't just human anymore. She was something forgotten, something waiting to return. Red lights flashed across the hallways of the Threxian facility. The metal floors shook. The walls cracked. Fire hissed from broken vents. The countdown ticked. 7 minutes to self-destruct. The once silent research station had become a maze of panic, but she walked through it like a ghost. Mara Quinn, a girl who had died 37 minutes ago, now moved like a shadow with purpose. She didn't run. She didn't hide. She was hunting, and every step brought her closer to those who had watched her scream and did nothing. In the observation wing, a Threxian guard named Kaval hid behind a control panel, trembling. His breathing was fast. He remembered her face. Bloody, broken, begging. He also remembered laughing. She was nothing, he whispered to himself. Just a test subject. Then the lights flickered, and she was there, behind him. He turned slowly. She didn't speak. She didn't raise her hand. She just looked at him, and Kaval dropped his weapon. "Mercy," he whispered. Her voice was soft but sharp. "You asked for none when I did." A moment later, Kaval passed out, not from pain, but from fear. His mind collapsed on itself. She moved on, all over the station, doors slammed shut, escape pods launched. Shuttles took off, but Mara didn't chase them. She had only one target left, Dr. Veskar. He had watched her like a puzzle, treated her like an animal. Now he was running. Inside the central elevator, he pressed the command for the hangar bay. "Access denied." He tried again. "Access denied." His voice trembled. "Override. Veskar protocol. Alpha." Nothing happened. The elevator didn't move. Then the lights above him dimmed and her reflection appeared in the glass wall of the lift. His blood ran cold. "No," he whispered. The elevator doors opened. Mara stood there, glowing softly in the red emergency light. Her eyes were calm. Her skin cracked with quiet energy as if light was trying to escape from inside her body. "You used me," she said. Veskar stepped back. "I was trying to unlock what's inside you. It's not human. You're not human. Don't you want to know what you are?" Mara stared at him. "You tortured me to find out, but I already know now." She walked toward him. "I'm what comes after humanity." Veskar tried to run. She didn't follow. She simply waved her hand and the lights around him collapsed, the walls closing in, reshaping into a prison of shifting metal. Veskar screamed as he was sealed inside, a fitting cage. Minutes left, the station groaned. Explosions shook the lower levels. Fire rose through the air vents. Mara reached the upper deck where the final escape shuttle sat waiting. Its hatch was open. A quiet voice called out from inside. "Mara." She turned. Inside the shuttle, in a sealed tank, floated a strange figure, a human-like girl with golden skin and closed eyes. A preserved clone? A mirror? Mara stepped closer, stunned. The voice continued, though the lips of the figure did not move. "You are the last. But you are not alone." Memories sparked in Mara's mind again, flashes of ancient cities, of starships, made of crystal, of people with eyes like hers, long gone. She whispered, "Who are you?" The voice answered, "I am the part of you they buried. I am your beginning, and your warning." Suddenly, a deep hum shook the room. The tank's glass shattered, and the girl inside opened her eyes. They were exactly like Mara's. The flames had swallowed the lower decks. The Threxian station was falling apart, room by room, system by system, but deep inside a hidden vault, untouched by the chaos above, a secret door slid open with a hiss. Mara Quinn stepped in. She was no longer glowing, no longer walking like a weapon. The light inside her had gone still, but not gone. She was following the voice, the one that sounded like her but wasn't. In the center of the room stood a single chair, and sitting in it, calm, waiting, was Dr. Veskar. No guards, no weapons, just a small silver cube in his lap and a twisted smile on his alien face. "I knew you'd come," he said softly. Mara's eyes narrowed. "I sealed you," he shrugged. "That was a fake. I'm not stupid. I never watched you from just one place." Mara stayed still, her hands clenched. Veskar held up the cube. "This is all of it. Your blood scans, your brain waves, your resurrection cycle, your awakening. It's all here. Want to know what you are?" "I already know," she said. "No, you don't," he replied. You think you were born Mara Quinn? A girl from Mars, a farm worker. He stood slowly. But you weren't born. You were rebuilt. Mara blinked. You died before, Mara, Vesker continued. Not here. Not now. A long, long time ago. You were once part of a lost human project, Warden-class restoration, a bio-soldier designed to activate in case of extinction. The Threxians didn't wake you. We accidentally triggered what was buried inside you. He tossed the cube to her. She caught it. Images flashed from it into her mind. Earthquakes, crashed ships, cryopods, and one word burned in red, WARDEN. We thought we were torturing a girl, Veskar said, voice shaking. But we were pulling the pin from a bomb, a living legacy of old Earth. Mara gritted her teeth. Why me? Because you're the last one that survived. He took a deep breath. And because your return means the others may rise too. Mara dropped the cube. And what happens if they do? Veskar's face twisted into something between fear and excitement. The galaxy burns, Mara. You don't bring peace, you bring balance. By erasing everything broken. For a second. Silence. Then Mara stepped forward. You tortured me. For data. I needed to know what you were, he said. Then, let me show you, she whispered. She touched the cube. It cracked, releasing a flash of light. Suddenly, Veskar screamed, not from pain, from memory. His own mind was being shown everything she saw, every time they shocked her, every time she cried, every scream, every plea, every drop of pain, poured. Back into his mind in seconds, he collapsed, gasping. Mara walked past him. She didn't kill him. She made him remember. Up in the escape shuttle, the clone version of Mara stirred again. Her voice, still inside the real Mara's head, whispered, Now you understand we were never created to fight alone, and the others are waking too. 3 minutes left. The Threxian station was breaking apart. The walls split. The ceilings crashed. Explosions burst through the decks like thunder. Metal screamed as fire ate its way up from the core. But Mara Quinn didn't run. She walked calmly, through the collapsing station toward the last escape bay, fire licking at her heels. Every step felt heavier. Her body was changing again. The light inside her pulsed brighter, hotter, stronger, like a second heartbeat. Behind her, Dr. Veskar crawled through the rubble, broken and muttering, She's awake. She's really awake. Outside, in orbit, a Threxian battlecruiser picked up the signal. Target is active. Repeat. Warden-class signature confirmed. Within seconds, 3 hunter ships launched toward the burning station, armed and ready. She must not leave the system, said the commander. Fire on sight. Inside the escape bay, Mara found the last remaining shuttle, small, fast, and just big enough to reach the nearest moon. The clone, still floating inside a glowing tank, opened, her eyes again. She whispered in Mara's head, You're not running. You're delivering the warning. Mara nodded once and climbed into the pilot seat. As she launched, the station behind her finally gave in to the countdown. It exploded. The shockwave pushed her ship forward as if the galaxy itself was trying to help her flee, but she didn't make it far. The Threxian cruisers saw her. Missiles launched, 2 hits on the wing, 1 near the engine. The small shuttle spun out of control, trailing smoke and fire across space. Inside, alarm screamed. Mara gripped the controls, breathing hard. Sparks flew, metal twisted. She slammed a hand into the emergency override. The ship barely responded. She saw the surface of a nearby moon, gray, cracked, and empty. She aimed for it. Impact. The shuttle crashed hard, skipping across the rocks before coming to a stop near a cliff edge. The wind howled. Dust covered everything. Inside, silence. Then a hand punched through the emergency hatch. Mara crawled out, coughing, her hair burned, her body steaming with heat from the crash. But her eyes were glowing stronger than ever. Her Skin was cracked with white light. She stood at the edge of the cliff and looked up. The Threxian ships were circling, scanning the area. She wasn't afraid. She was done running. She raised her hand. The ground trembled. Behind her, the dust cleared from a rocky surface, revealing a giant stone gate covered in old Earth symbols. "This is it," the voice in her head said. "The place we were buried, and the place we rise from." From space, the Threxian commander spoke coldly. "She's injured. She can't fight." But, as they locked weapons on her position, a signal burst from the moon's surface. It wasn't from her shuttle. It was from under the ground. The dust on the moon's surface had barely settled when Mara Quinn stepped through the stone gate. Behind her, the sky burned red with fire trails. Threxian warships were circling above, preparing to strike. But she didn't look up. She looked down, into the hidden chamber below. It wasn't just a cave. It was a vault, a secret tomb of the past. The walls were lined with strange metal panels glowing dim blue. Human writing, pre-colony English, was carved into the floor. "Warden Prime Site, do not wake." Inside the vault, dozens of black pods stood tall like statues. Each one sealed, each one silent. Mara walked between them. Some pods were empty, some flickered, some pulsed with a soft heartbeat. And then, a hologram appeared. It showed Earth. Not the Earth Mara remembered. This Earth was older, untouched, covered in green and ocean. A planet from before history was recorded. A deep voice played from the walls, recorded by an ancient human general. "If you're hearing this, then one of us survived. That means it's time. Time to return. Time to take back the stars." We were never weak. We only waited. Mara fell to her knees. Tears fell from her glowing eyes. She wasn't the last. She was the first. And Earth had no idea that its sleeping army was waking up on forgotten moons and lost worlds. Above the moon, the Threxian commander grew nervous. "She's underground, she's signaling something, this is more than a girl." They launched their final strike. Missiles roared toward the surface. Inside the vault, the pods began to open, one by one. Men, women, soldiers, wardens, not human as we know it, but human as they were once designed to be. Faster, stronger, smarter. Protectors of Earth. Left behind when the old wars burned the skies. And now, reborn. Mara stood, flames rising around her. Her voice echoed through the chamber, through the pods, through space itself. "They tortured me to learn what I was. Now I remember. I am the warning. I am the first. And I am not alone anymore." The surface exploded, but from the wreckage, light shot upward like a beacon. It pierced the sky, striking one of the Threxian cruisers with such force that it split in half. The others turned to flee, but it was too late. The wardens had returned. The sky above Earth shimmered. Satellites went blind. Signals cut out. Military scanners picked up energy surges no human tech could explain. From the edge of the system, a pulse had arrived, ancient, intelligent, and unmistakably human. But Earth didn't send it. Mara Quinn did. On the moon where her ship had crashed, the air was now electric. The once dead Warden Vault blazed with light. Dozens of Warden soldiers stood around Mara, silent but aware. Their armor adjusted to their skin like it had waited for them for centuries. They didn't speak. They didn't need to. Because they recognized her Mara wasn't just a warden, she was Warden Prime. In Earth orbit, a general watched the strange signal as it pulsed across the stars. This isn't alien," he said. "No, sir," the technician replied. "It's human. Very old. And it's not asking permission." The signal was a code. One word repeated, "Awaken," meanwhile. Deep in a secret base buried beneath the Rocky Mountains, long-forgotten machines stirred. Vaults that had never opened before hissed and unlocked. Other warden sites were coming online. One by one. From Mars. From Europa. from forgotten Earth colonies. The slumber was over. On the moon, Mara stood atop a stone platform. Her eyes, still glowing, now held clarity and command. She raised her hand, and the Warden army knelt in silence. In her mind, she spoke to the stars. You broke me to find power, but the power was never yours. You hunted me because I was weak, but you forgot what happens when humans remember who they are. Far above, Threxian fleets began to regroup, but they didn't know where to attack, because Mara wasn't hiding anymore. She was spreading. Each time the signal bounced, another warden woke up. Another ancient mind opened. Another lost soldier of humanity returned to duty. A Threxian warlord watched in terror. She was one girl, he whispered. No. The voice on the other end said, she was the key. Back on Earth, as panic rose and governments scrambled, a new star appeared in the sky. It wasn't a star. It was a human ship. Old, massive, shaped like a blade. Its engines had been cold for 10,000 years. Now it moved, and its pilot was already aboard. Mara Quinn. The ship recognized her DNA. The ship welcomed her like a mother welcoming home a lost child. She stood in the command center. No fear, no questions, only purpose. Let them come, she said. This time we don't run. This time we remind the galaxy why they used to fear us. She was tortured. She died. She returned. And now she's not a victim. She's the weapon. Earth forgot it built. And the galaxy is about to learn. Humanity never needed saving. Humanity was the storm.